I've got some books here that I think would make great film or TV adaptations. Give me one book you would love to see on the screen in the comments. I know you're all going to be asking for it, so let's just get Red Rising out of the way. I definitely think Red Rising has a ton of potential, especially just that universe as a whole. I feel like there's a lot to pull from to either go the TV side with like premium cable or something, or even just tightening up the story and getting this onto film, I think would work really well. If you're doing film with Red Rising, I think you're going to stick with something like Harry Potter. Let those films age up with the audience. Like Red Rising starts dark, but it gets really dark. I do think it will take a lot of work and a lot of planning, but I think you get something really special out of this. I was in college when Game of Thrones came out on HBO. It was a worldwide sensation. Everybody's been trying to get back on that Game of Thrones train, and I think the first law from Joe Abercrombie is how you do that. I think Game of Thrones was at its strongest when it focused on characters as opposed to the plot as a whole. That character work is what drew people in and grabbed such a large audience. Joe lends himself to that so well in the first law. You could easily focus on 3 to 4 characters and make a whole show around that. That's going to pull people in. They're going to want to see what those characters are doing. And the strength of Joe's writing is his characters. I think if you want your next Game of Thrones, it's right here. Next, I got Hyperion by Dan Simmons. I think the success of Dune shows us that big epic sci-fi works on the big screen. This is something people are going to want to see. This is epic sci-fi at its finest. If you like Lord of the Rings and if you like Dune, imagine those all mixed up together. That's what you'd be getting with Hyperion on the big screen. And I think that would be so awesome. Next, we're going to go to The Empire of the Wolf trilogy by Richard Swan. Now, I originally would not have picked this series, but because I've now read Scour, the new short story in this world, I think this works really well, especially for something like premium cable. Not that this series is really written episodic, but I can see it going that way. And there's so much in this world to pull from to make this episodic. I think you could easily translate this to a season of episodes. This book is basically a fantasy horror mystery book. I just see so much potential with our main character in this book, and seeing these cases that our main character takes in this book, I can see that playing out really cool on my TV. I would love to see this world realized and this cast of characters dealing out justice across Sova. And then finally, the book I talked about yesterday, Artificial Wisdom. I find it very hard to believe this is not going to be a movie. The mass appeal of the story just lends it so well to film. I think the story is relevant to all generations. It's something that I would want to bring my dad or my grandparents to. I just feel like they would connect with this. This is the kind of book that you want to put on film. Not only would this near future setting be awesome to see on a big screen, but I think the dread and the tension that this book conjures inside of you as you read is going to work so well on the screen, man. Again, I think this is going to be a movie. Thomas, let us know in the comments.